Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. The air feels light, North London is damp and dark, and all is well in the world. United are back to winning ways. Despite it being an absolute graft to get the win, we are still in winning form, technically. Look, we've got some mega transfer news coming in today, so different to football, different to the reaction that you saw yesterday. I've got Sam and Shreyas alongside me, lads. Do we have an extra spring in our step today?
I feel happy about the result, but fucking hell, it drained the life out of you, didn't it? That was.
Oh yeah.
That was an experience, that. And then when you have to do a full day of work, loads of back-to-back meetings, you're just like, oh my God, that was so good yesterday, but I couldn't do that again. Like, if I had to do that again, like against Southampton and do a penalty shootout and fucking battle, I couldn't do that again.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Really enjoyed it, but I don't want to do it again because, yeah, that was a lot of energy wasted.
Shreyas, how did you feel today? At what time was it when the game finished? Because obviously it's not the usual kind of 90 minutes, is it? So.
Yeah, it was around 12, 11:30ish when the game finished. And of course, after the result, I had to be up till like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning just to, keep refreshing Twitter, watch the meltdown on AFTV and everywhere. Yeah, so it was a long night, but yeah, like Sam mentioned, I'm glad that we don't have any more games till the weekend because I think we really need some time to digest this result so that we can move to the Southampton game. Yeah.
Shreyas, I've got bad news. Southampton's midweek, mate.
For me, it is on a Friday, so it still works because it's a late night.
Okay.
Yeah, technically, yeah, you got that on a technicality there, didn't you?
Yeah.
But it's Southampton at home, right? This is what we should be going there and getting that's the biggest one that I look at, and I'm like, in a weird way, I'm like, you've beat the big teams. Now we need to see you could do it with a team who are going to sit back, not give you much space.
If you lose that game, you've reset everything that you've just accomplished in the last couple of weeks. Like the Liverpool and the City game, you've just fucked it up out the wall because otherwise, what are you doing? So you have to respond with a win and a convincing one.
Yeah. Well, whilst I'm going to let you dive into your daily muffin, Sam, so you sit back, relax, and we're going to go through the stories, what's on today's show. Napoli bid for Garnacho. Very interesting developments on that coming out of Italy. Diego León has completed his medical, the young Paraguayan left-back. We have more updates, believe it or not, on Marcus Rashford. What a surprise. Antony to La Liga. And we're going to discuss Man United's next 5 fixtures, which obviously includes the Southampton game that we were just talking about. But let's kick it off with this Garnacho story, Shreyas. Coming from Alfredo Padula, who's, look, in terms of reliability, it's kind of, a little bit in between. 50-50, I would probably say. You lads know that already. But he tweeted today saying that Napoli apparently have offered United 38 million, including add-ons for Alejandro Garnacho. United want more than £50 million for the winger, apparently. And apparently they've already had 3 meetings with Garnacho's entourage. They've been working on this for weeks and plan to hold talks with him again. Bit of a surprise, this, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a surprise considering Napoli aren't really a club right now who are actively looking for wingers. And on top of that, I think people would expect them to move for someone like Rashford, even if they did move for a winger. Garnacho is someone who I know a lot of fans have written off and don't think that he'll, be able to fit into this sort of system. But I think it's a bit too soon to be calling it a day with Garnacho. I think it is still. I'm just not sure whether it's the right move to go for. If you look at it from a financial perspective, sort of like that 38 million or 40 million, which would come in, would be pure profit. But I'm not sure if cashing out on Garnacho, right now is still the right way to actually go because he's still very young. He's got loads of potential. And I wouldn't say that, he cannot progress in his game anymore. There is still a lot of development that can actually happen to his game style. And I think in similarity to Xerxes, even he deserves, like at least a full season under this system to actually see whether he can fit as a key cog in this system or not. If he can't, then we can probably, assess our options whether we need to loan him out or sell him off. But I think right now it's just too early to call it. He's had 2 very good performances back to back now, and hopefully he can build on it.
Because obviously Napoli are looking to replace Kvaratskhelia, Sam, if they do
Mm.
kind of move him on and he does go to PSG. And we had the rumblings a couple of weeks ago where it was like United are not saying no, basically, if offers do come in for Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho, but aren't necessarily actively looking to sell him. So even if we did consider any offer, it's got to be more than that, hasn't it?
Yeah, like the way people took it rather than reading the article and actually understanding what was happening. People took it as in United are just trying to do a cash and carry sale and just sell all of our academy players to make a profit.
Yeah.
Whereas in reality, what they're saying is back in the day, under like Woodward and stuff like that, certain players would be off limits despite the fact that financially we were in trouble. They wouldn't sell them because social media, shirt sales, whether their metric they were measuring at the time, impression shares. Whereas Ineos are like, no, if a big fucking offer comes in, say somebody comes in and offers you 150 million for Kobbie Mainoo, you're gonna have to consider it because that's 150 million of pure profit and could basically clear up a lot of issues financially at the club. That's what they're saying. And the similar with Garnacho is that people are saying, oh, 50 million, this. I think he's worth a lot more. I think 30, what is it, 38, 36? What were they offering?
38 million.
30 million. They can fuck off for that money. Absolutely fuck off. You can get Antony if you want for that money. You're not getting Garnacho for that money. Like, that's a really disrespectful bid. That's a Real Madrid type bid, isn't it? Do you know when they did the things they've been doing with Trent in a minute? And what did they offer him? 20 million for Trent or something? Like, that's the kind of shit they pull. And if they want Garnacho that badly to replace Kvaratskhelia, then they're going to have to offer a lot more money because that isn't anywhere worth what he is. When he's a 19-year-old, he showed glimpses of potential, so he's still got room to grow. And he's capable of winning games, especially off the bench, and the impact that he has, the talent that he has, and the potential to sort of make that into something special. 36 million is not enough. It's just not enough. Like when you see what Jude Bellingham go for, 80 million to Real Madrid.
I think it was 100.
100.
100. Kvaratskhelia has been 80 million euros.
70 to 80.
Yeah. Like that's the numbers you got to be looking at if you want Garnacho. You can't just come in at 36 and expect to get him. So yeah, I if he's going, then they've got to offer a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's weird for me, Shreyas, because obviously Garnacho's someone who's got 100 plus senior apps at the age of 20 already. He's already a regular for Argentina. He was a pretty important player for us last season. He's fell off a little bit now, but seems to be kind of climatizing and adapting. So where is the figure, does it like? Because I would argue that Kvaratskhelia is obviously a much more proven player than Garnacho is. And I don't know how old Kvaratskhelia is. He's 23?
23.
I think. So, only a couple of years difference in them. So how do you measure Garnacho? Just on potential? Or
I think right now you can actually only measure him on potential and his ability to turn up in the big games because he turned up for us in the FA Cup final. He's got, like you mentioned as well, he's become a regular for that, Argentina team as well. So he's not someone who goes invisible in the big games. In last night's game against Arsenal as well, he was very, very present on the pitch. You could, whenever we had a counter attack, you could feel his presence when we were moving the ball into the final third. He was able to lay off Bruno for a very, very good goal at the right moment, at the right and in the right, I would say, right moment as well, not overplaying the pass a bit by 2 or 3 meters, or delaying the pass, or trying to go for a shot himself. It was laid off perfectly for Bruno. That's why you got the lead against Arsenal. Even again, in the game against Liverpool, the ball that he laid off for Ahmad, perfect moment, perfect timing. So he is slowly readapting his play style to adjust into this formation and system. But if I have to compare him on a metric to Kvaratskhelia, Kvara is just, the thing is, right now Garnacho is very unidimensional. He's still growing. He's still adapting. He's still trying to get more things into his locker as a winger, as a 10. Kvaratskhelia is more proven and he's more dynamic as a winger. He's not someone who is just your out and out goal scorer. He's someone who helps very, very much when it comes to build up. His work rate is also, I think, top 5 when it comes to this area. He's also someone who can play as a 10 naturally enough and can play as a number 9 as well. So he's very versatile. So, and considering the lineup that we've got right now, we need those sort of versatile players as well. Who can function in multiple positions while maintaining that sort of quality. So Garnacho is still a raw product. You still need to polish him. I think Kvaratskhelia is much nearer to that finished article. But I think if you have to mention it because of the age factor, I think the price can still go a bit higher.
Well, I would love to get the general consensus on this because I want to see what everyone thinks. If you are watching this currently, would you let him go? And how much would you let him go for? What is the price tag that you're willing to accept that? Because Garnacho's someone, I think if you would have asked us this probably around 6 months ago, I think the majority of United fans probably would have said, get to fuck, he's not for sale.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about it. But now Amarin's come in, I'm sat there and thinking, well, they might actually consider it if a massive offer comes in. So we'll just have to wait and see the developments on that.
Under Ineos, everybody's got a price. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has a price, whereas previously that wouldn't have been the case. Like Rashford would never have been considered for sale. Now he's being pushed out the door. So everybody's got a price.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to stick with South American talents. The Paraguayan left-back Diego León was in Manchester today for his medical and announcement as a new Man United player. We're still waiting for that. But apparently it's $4 million plus $1 million in easy add-ons. León will join United in July 2025. He will fly back to Paraguay on Tuesday, and his brother's just been speaking on this move. He was saying, Diego was telling me the place, Manchester's impressive, that it's a dream place. He's already passed the medical test. Until a few hours ago, I was talking to him while he was at the Manchester United club. I can't believe where he is now, basically. Not a player that we know loads about, Sam, but another one that's quite exciting in it, considering how Ineos have been operating recently, the kind of gems that we're asking for.
Yeah, I saw, was it The Athletic or something? They basically said Jason Wilcox is heavily involved in this deal. He was sort of key to getting it done, and we saw what he did at the Man City Academy, sort of finding people like Phil Foden, Rico Lewis, those kind of guys, and you see the impacts they've had at City. So maybe this is another one for the future. I saw as well, they said he's going to be assessed in pre-season and then decide whether he's going to be loaned out or not. So yeah, let's see what he can do in preseason. Like if he has an absolute fantastic preseason, maybe he works his way as like second choice left wing back. Because I assume we're gonna buy a first choice left wing back. I assume that's gonna be one of the number one target areas for transfers. So maybe he can force his way in because Harry Amask looks like he's going out on loan. Like people don't fancy him.
Not getting a sniff at the minute.
Malacia, I've seen rumours he's rumored to being sold or being loaned out. Obviously, massive question marks over Luke Shaw and his future. So that left wing spot is open up for anybody. So first choice and then Diego León second choice. Who knows? I don't know anything about him. I haven't seen anything on him. Like I have to be honest, but if they've talent identified him, they've got him for a decent price. That's what we want. We've cried out for so long going to these countries and identifying gems for low prices, bringing them in and developing them. Hopefully, this is the start of that.
Well, we're no strangers to South American fullback strikers. We've had the likes of Antonio Valencia, we've had Gabriel Heinz, we've had Fabio and Rafael, obviously the twins from Brazil as well. It's quite exciting, isn't it? I don't know if you've seen like the scout report on him, but he's saying he's electric, can bomb up, and everything we need in the left wing back position, basically. To bring in a youngster like that is quite interesting.
Yeah, it is, and the thing is, if it works out, it saves us a lot of cash in the transfer window because at the end, I think this is something that we should have been working on for quite some time before. Identifying these sort of raw talents, identifying these players, and getting them in on low fees. Because other clubs are doing it for quite some time. Brighton do it all the time. City have been doing it for quite some time as well by scouting these talents from North America and South America. And I hope that now that United have moved into this sort of dynamic, Diego León can work out. He can come in and hopefully he can have a good preseason, and then we can actually assess as to how we need to proceed further into the next season's transfer window and how much we actually need to invest. Whether it's got to be 2 left wing backs, whether it just needs to be 1, or whether Leon can be someone who can be seen as a challenger, as a starter, and how much playtime needs to be given to him. So all of these questions I think will be answered next season.
Even sometimes in these deals as well, you bring them in, and let's say they don't reach the peaks that you may think they do, but they're still a decent level left back. You then make a turnover, if you sell them for 15, 20 million, there's 15 million profit, which in these deals United don't typically do. I imagine when Brighton bought Estepinian, for example, when they brought him over from Ecuador, I think it was, they probably paid pittance for him, like 500 grand or something. If they sell him now, they'd probably get 15 to 20 million.
At least, yeah.
There's a business element to it as well.
Same with the Enciso guy as well. Like,
Yeah.
he's coming. I
Yeah,
think he came in for like $1 million, less than $1 million. What's he worth now? What, 30 million?
Yeah.
Maybe 20 million?
Yeah.
Like instant profit.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, unfortunately, lads, we do have to speak about Marcus Rashford because there's more updates. Would you believe it? The March shows confirmed that there are more contacts have probably got ongoing right now, actually, because that was a couple of hours ago, between the two clubs. But there is a situation with Kyle Walker at the moment that if AC Milan was to go and sign him, because apparently they're in talks with him as well, they're only allowed one more British player on the team. I think it's due to like tax and financial reasons or something along the lines of that.
It's Brexit as well, I think.
Brexit, yeah.
Too.
It could be like some, I don't know, there's some issue with it. So, yeah, there's still clubs that are interested. Dortmund are extremely interested. But again, you're hearing like, we can't afford it and financials and blah, blah, blah. And of course, there's a knock-on effect with that because if Rashford does go, we are going to be looking at players like Kolo Muane, and we're still staying in contact with PSG about that. So, I don't know if his wage just seems to be the killer here, doesn't it? I feel like had he had been on 150 grand a week, Shreyas, he'd probably be already out the door by now, wouldn't
yeah, he would be. I think that wage is something that really puts off a lot of clubs across Europe, because for the wages that he's being offered, I don't think any club is convinced he'll be able to produce those sort of numbers
he?
that you would expect from that certain player. Like Rashford right now isn't someone who can convince a club that he is going to get you, 25 to 30 goals a season. So it's going to be very difficult because of the wages. I think most likely it will be a loan, and even if it happens, I think United will have to split on the wages.
Would you take a chance on Rashford, Sam, if he was another club?
About another club, yeah. Like if he was away from the Premier League, like I think in the Premier League, like I've seen West Ham are interested, but I think that'd be the wrong move for him because you're in the same
Yeah.
I agree.
country. Like I think he needs somewhere away from where he currently is, his situation, he's living, the people he's with, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like clearly that's not a good environment for him currently. And I think he needs to be away, fresh start, new city, that kind of stuff. I think that's where he's going to be beneficial. So whether that's La Liga or whether it's Italy, as it seems to be leaning towards, I think that'd be more beneficial for him. So yeah, if I was AC Milan or Juventus or Napoli or whoever, I'd definitely like take a chance, especially if it's on a loan deal, like with an option to buy. Like I'd do that deal as long as you're not covering his wages like in entirety. I think they should definitely look at that. From United's perspective, you want them to cover his entire wages because that would help us out tremendously.
Yeah.
But I don't think any club is going to do that because the wages are insane. So yeah, if there was another club, I'd definitely take an opportunity.
Wages always coming to bite us in the arse. It's a similar situation with Antony because apparently he isn't keen on a move to Greece. But again, talk about the financials. 200 grand a week to someone in Greece. I mean, like, I doubt there's anyone above 40 grand a week in Greece. I bet it's like that's probably the threshold around £50,000. So that was never going to happen. But apparently Real Betis are genuinely considering it, and he sees Spanish football as the best option. Is this something, a loan deal? Like it's almost like a nothingness, is there? Because he doesn't play. He gets the odd 5-10 minutes every now and then. But he just needs to go play football where he's appreciated, because I feel like United fans at the moment, they're in the back of our mind at the moment, isn't it? With Antony, he's in the back of our mind, should I say?
I think he is, because I don't even remember the last time he got a full 90 minutes since Amorim has come in.
No.
And I think his value is only going to depreciate a lot more if you don't play him and you wait out till the summer transfer window to actually sell him. I think
How much is he worth right now, do you think?
15 million. I think 15 million
Crazy,
at
isn't
the
it?
max. At the max, I would say 15 million if we are lucky, because this is a player who I don't remember the last time he scored was against Barnsley through a penalty, and
Oh yeah.
it's not when you look at his numbers, not looking good. When you look at his effectiveness, not looking good. So any club who would be coming in for him would genuinely get him for a cut short price. And even other clubs do know that United are in a position where they do want to get rid of Antony, so they can make the most out of that situation, get even a better deal on that sort of a player.
It can't look good on the books either, can it, Sam? A deal like that, like you've spent 85 on him, and now he's out on loan, and you're going to take a 15 mil sale. That looks awful, doesn't it, in terms of PSR?
I mean, the team's full of it. I saw the thing on the Casemiro, the Saudi story, and Lauren Whitwell was saying Sir Jim Ratcliffe regards it as one of the worst deals they've done in terms of like how much they spent on him, the wages he's on, and then the age he is, and what we got out of him. Like, our squad at the minute is just littered with those sort of deals, isn't it? Like Antony, Casemiro, Mason Mount at the minute. That's a big error at the minute. Luke Shaw's another one. Just offering these contracts with massive wages to players who A, didn't live up to the talent or hype that we were expecting, or B, just let us down in terms of injuries and availability. Like the squad's littered with them, and it's unfortunate, but it's our own doing. Like, and we've got to sit and deal with it, and it's going to take a long while to get these players off the books. We're going to take hits on every single one of them, but that's how we have to get them out the door, rather than like in the old days, we're like, well, we've paid all this money now and nobody's going to take us, and we're just going to have to make do. And these players would stay for years. Like Antony Martial was here for 9 years.
Yeah.
Why was he here for 9 years? He should have been gone like ages ago. Phil Jones signed an extra 4-year deal. Why did that happen? Like, it's just weird decisions like that. So I think, we need to sort of get out of that mindset, take the hit, get them off the books, refresh the squad, and build again, because that can't keep happening. The Antony deal is one of the worst we've done. So that can't keep happening.
There is a small part of me that kind of wants to see him at wing back a little bit more, just like even if it's a cup game or something, because I really think his connection with Ahmad, it was something interesting maybe to explore. But I don't know. I'm not going to cry and have a absolute meltdown because Antony's gone.
The sign in Old Trafford, please don't leave. Antony.
I don't think anyone's going to have one of those. Right, let's finish off on this then, lads. Next 5 games, we've got Southampton at home, Brighton at home, Rangers at home, Fulham away, and FCSB away, I think it is. How many points or how many wins do we get from those games? So let's start with predictions. Shreyas, kick us off.
Southampton, we win. I think Brighton we draw. Rangers, we'll get the win. Then who we got after Rangers?
Fulham away.
Fulham we lose. And FCSB we win.
Okay, so pretty positive overall. What's that? 6, 9, 10 points, I think, from the next 5 games. Obviously, we don't have points. Oh, we do have points in Europa League, actually.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, format's changed now, it's all new. Sam, are you as optimistic or more on the pessimistic side?
Yeah, the only thing I disagree with is the Fulham one, because they've drawn a lot of games recently. Like, they just seem to be the king of draws. And we've also not really won a game for a while. Like, I know we technically beat Arsenal last night, but it was on a penalty shootout. We drew against Liverpool. They were our 2 best performances in recent times. So we've not really won a game either. I think the Southampton one, we should beat them. If we don't beat them, then forget the rest of the games.
The meltdown.
Forget the rest of them.
Yeah.
I really, really want to beat Rangers. Like, please, because I hate them. I hate them so much. Like, let's beat them. That would be really good. FCSB, you should be beating them, because I don't even know what it stands for. I don't know where they're from. They're Romanian?
It was Bucharest. It was Bucharest.
Okay, Romanian then. So we should be beating them. And then, Fulham and Brighton are the 2 where you're like, that could be potential slip-ups there. Because Brighton's a bogey team for us. We never seem to win at Brighton. Never seem to be able to beat them. And then Fulham have drawn a lot of games. So, I think those 2 would be draws, but we'll win against Southampton, win against Rangers, and then win against FCSB.
But you got Brighton are in 10th, Fulham in 9th, we're in 13th. You beat both of them teams, you basically leapfrog them by that point, I think. So if you want to climb back into the top half of that table, it still feels mad when I'm saying those words. Then you got to be beating those teams around you, I suppose. So let's see.
Where are we in the Europa League?
We are 7th, I think we are in the Europa League. So
if we beat those 2, we could push up there as well. What's the automatic qualification? Is it top 6?
Top 8.
Top 8. Okay, so we're in the automatic. So we need to stay in there, don't we? No. We can't be.
This is where, quite literally, with the new year, where the pendulum can actually swing. Going forward in terms of Europe, the Premier League, and the FA Cup, I believe.
Yeah.
We need to widen that gap between us and Ipswich as well. So we need to look out for that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We were like watching the Ipswich game going, I hope they don't win, because we're fucking worried in the league.
You've got Wolves with a new manager bounce, and you're like, oh God, we're going to get dragged into this relegation. I mean, we've still got to play in the league yet. We've done well against Liverpool. We got a point. And we've done well against Arsenal, but I think the majority of United fans, just to finish on this, I think they're looking at these next 5 games. It's like, let's see if you've actually improved, or you've only got the bollocks to turn up in the big games, and then you kind of, because you get Southampton now, sorry, we're lapsed in concentration. It won't happen again. all that fucking bullshit. So fingers crossed. We will have the Southampton preview tomorrow night for you guys, so make sure you come and tune in for that. We drop Premier League predictions at 12 o'clock also, so go get in there, give us your predictions, and let us know how you see the football kicking off. We've got North London Derby, we've got Liverpool going to Forest, is it, I think, potentially? Or maybe...
Yeah.
There's some big games anyway coming up midweek. So, yeah, get involved in there. Let us know your thoughts and feelings. And, yeah, me, Sam, and Shreyas will see you guys in the next one, I suppose. Take it easy, people. See you in a bit.